There are places you should never open, doors that should never exist. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about one of them, a motel room that was never built, but people still check into it. This is one of the forbidden files. Before we begin, turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and if you're brave enough, subscribe now, because the deeper you go into these files, the harder it is to escape.
My name is Daniel Hayes, and for the last year, I've been working the night shift at a dying roadside motel off Highway 74. If you've ever driven cross-country, you've probably seen places like it. Faded neon buzzing weakly, paint peeling off the sign, weeds crawling up the parking lot cracks. It's the kind of place where people stop when they have no better option. We had 5 rooms, always 5. Room 1 had a busted lock, but still worked if you shoved the door hard enough. Room 2 smelled faintly of mildew, no matter how much bleach we used. Room 3 had a cracked mirror and graffiti carved into the nightstand. Room 4's heater rattled like a dying engine. And Room 5, well, it was just another forgotten room in a forgotten motel. But one night, I saw something in the logbook that changed everything.
The logbook. It was just after midnight. The lobby was empty, the soda machine humming louder than my thoughts. I flipped through the check-in sheet out of boredom, and that's when I saw it. Room 6, checked in at 11:48 p.m., paid cash. I froze. There was no room 6. We only had 5, always 5. I had the keys memorized, hung neatly behind me. 1 through 5, no 6. At first, I thought it was a joke. Maybe the owner, Mr. Green, had slipped it in there to keep me awake. He liked to test if I was paying attention. But the handwriting was neat, careful, a real name, a real signature. Curiosity got the better of me. I pulled up the security camera for the hallway, and that's when I saw him. A tall man in a long black coat, walking calmly down the hall. He stopped between room 5 and the blank stretch of wallpaper at the end. Then, with a motion too natural to be fake, he pulled a key from his pocket and slid it into a door that wasn't there. A door marked 6. I watched, numb, as he opened it, stepped inside, and shut it quietly behind him. The camera kept rolling. Nothing glitched, no static. But when I ran to the hallway myself, all I found was the plain wall. No door, no room 6. First contact. The next few nights were quiet. I tried convincing myself it had been a mistake, maybe old footage spliced in, maybe my tired eyes seeing things. But the thought gnawed at me. Then, Friday came. At exactly 2:13 a.m., I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow, heavy knocks from the end of the hall. I held my breath, every hair on my neck standing straight. It wasn't room 5. It wasn't the wall. It was between them. And then, clear as a whisper pressed against my ear, I heard it. Don't forget me. The voice was soft, male, desperate. I should have run. I should have locked myself in the office, but I didn't. My feet moved on their own, dragging me down the hallway until I stood inches from the blank wall. And for a moment, I saw it, the faint outline of a door, the brass shimmer of a crooked number 6. I blinked, and it was gone. The room revealed. I came prepared the following night. I charged my phone, set it to record, and waited with caffeine pumping through my veins. At 2:13 sharp, the lights flickered, and there it was, as if it had always been there. The door. Old, wooden, paint chipped and peeling. The brass 6, nailed to the front, tilted slightly to the left. The knob was worn down, scratched like countless hands had twisted it in panic. I swear I could feel heat radiating from the wood, like the door itself was alive, pulsing faintly in the dark. I raised my phone, recorded every detail, and then the knob turned, slowly, deliberately. The door creaked open just enough to reveal blackness beyond. My phone glitched, the screen filling with static and distorted audio. And then, slam. The door shut hard, rattling the wall. When I looked again, the hallway was empty. No door, no number, just wallpaper. Later, when I checked my phone, the footage was ruined, static, white noise, except for one faint phrase buried in the hiss. Warnings. The next day, I confronted Mr. Green, the owner. The moment I said room 6, his face drained of all color. His hands shook as he lit a cigarette. "You don't go near that room," he said firmly. "If you hear knocking, you ignore it. If you see the door, you turn the other way." "Why?" I asked. "What is it?" He crushed the cigarette out, half lit. "A mistake. A guest back in '92. Some things don't leave." That's all he would say. He refused to elaborate, refused to look me in the eye. 2 nights later, police showed up around 3 a.m. They were looking for a missing man, tall, black coat, last seen near Highway 74. My stomach turned to ice. I checked the logbook. His name was there, clear as day. Room 6. The final night. I should have quit, should have walked away, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. The mystery burned too hot in my head. So last night, I waited again. 2:13 a.m. The door appeared. But this time, it was already wide open. I could see inside, a dim lamp flickering weakly, casting yellow light on a room that smelled of damp rot. The wallpaper curled and peeled, water-stained and moldy. A single bed sat in the corner, its sheets yellowed and stiff. And sitting on that bed was the man in the black coat. He was hunched forward, face buried in his hands. He looked broken, like he'd been there for years. "Sir?" I whispered. His head rose slowly. His face wasn't right. His skin was stretched too thin, veins dark and bulging beneath. His eyes were hollow pits, black and wet, swallowing the light. And when his mouth opened, it unhinged too far, and the words poured out like smoke. "Don't forget me." The lights flickered, the air warped, and before I could run, I was pulled forward, sucked into the room. The door slammed shut behind me. I don't know how much time passed. Hours? Days? My watch doesn't tick anymore. The air feels heavy, thick like water. The lamp never burns out. The man in the coat just sits across from me, staring, whispering, waiting. And then, last night, the knocking came again. Knock, knock, knock. The door opened, and I saw someone standing there, A kid, new night clerk, younger than me, holding a clipboard. His face pale, eyes wide with fear. The man in the coat turned toward him, grinned. And now I'm the one sitting on the bed, staring, whispering, waiting. Final warning. So if you ever find yourself in a forgotten motel on the side of some lonely highway, pay attention to the numbers on the doors. Count them. If you see more than 5, if you see a door that shouldn't exist, if you hear knocking at 2:13 in the morning, don't answer. Because once you check in to room 6, you'll never leave.